It's not like anything I've ever experienced before in my life, and again, completely not as advertised. No one told me it was going to be like this.
Here, what noise do potatoes make?
Hey, welcome to the channel. My name is Cassandra, and this is where I talk about my life experiences and lessons learned to try and help other people who might be in similar situations. If that sounds interesting to you, then go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. As you may have noticed, my speech is sounding quite slurry, and that is because I had my tongue tie released 5 days ago now, so that is very much still healing. It's still a little bit painful, uncomfortable, especially when eating. So this video is going to be a 5-day post-operative update for you. I already gave you an update, I think, after 3 days in the part 2, which you can watch here, along with the part 1 about like the consultations and things like that that I did before the surgery. So in this video I will talk about days 3, 4 and 5. I will also talk about starting to do the tongue exercises and stretches again for the first time. And finally, I want to give some thoughts about the results so far and how I'm feeling about that. So since the last update that I gave you, at that point I was very much still eating soft and liquid foods because I was just in so much pain. I really couldn't handle anything else. After recording that video, I did have my first solid-ish meal since having the procedure. So if you watched my video about my wisdom teeth removal recovery, you would have seen there that at some point I decided to have a McDonald's because it was solid but not hard, relatively cheap, and it wouldn't be too disappointing if the experience didn't go very well. So I did the same thing again. I got a McDonald's so that it's, you know, solid foods but still soft. How do I even explain it to you? So the reason I did it, as I say, I was still very much in pain, it was still very uncomfortable, but I was quite keen to at least try and make an effort to eat foods that I would need to chew again, because when I had a surgery on my wrist, the doctor was, really telling me to rest it for weeks and weeks, which I did, but actually that was to my detriment because then the muscles became extremely weak, and 6 months on, I'm still having a lot of issues with my wrist because of not exercising it and moving it again soon enough after that surgery. So I didn't want the same thing to happen with my tongue. Additionally, the surgeon told me that I wouldn't have to change my diet at all after the surgery, so I really wasn't expecting to have to switch to the liquid diet. So that was another reason why I thought, okay, let's get back to solid foods and normal eating again as soon as possible. It was so painful. So I mentioned that the only thing they gave me was like a topical numbing gel, so I put that on. I can't remember if I had also taken leftover ibuprofen that day. I think maybe I had. So even with all of that, it was so incredibly sore. Like, as I say, I can't even describe it to you. Wow. It took me almost 2 hours to eat that McDonald's, and I didn't even finish it. I was close to finishing it, but honestly, as I say, it had been 2 hours and my jaw felt so tired. If you're eating for 2 hours straight, it was like, not only was there the physical pain in the tongue and the jaw area, but because it was so much effort and it was so painful, for the last 2 days, I have been literally sweating every time I eat. Like, I'm having to take clothes off and open the window because I am sweating from the pain. Even with the numbing gel, I haven't taken ibuprofen in the last, I didn't take it yesterday, I haven't taken it today. Then I was still using the numbing gel when eating because it was so sore. And even as recent as last night when I was eating my dinner, after the second bite, I felt faint. I literally felt lightheaded and as if whoa. And it's really difficult because I'm hungry, I need energy, I need nourishment, I need, some sort of food in my body, but then eating makes me feel like I'm gonna pass out. Like, it's not like anything I've ever experienced before in my life, and again, completely not as advertised. No one told me it was going to be like this, including the surgeon. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. That being said, every day since I've had the procedure, I am noticing that the pain, discomfort and the swelling is improving. So even just now, I had something to eat for lunch. I didn't have to use the numbing gel, and it wasn't quite as uncomfortable and painful, which is really good, but it's still absolutely a struggle. And you can hear me, you know, when I'm talking now, it's a struggle to talk, very difficult. So again, today is day 5, and it's the first day where the surgeon said that I should start doing my tongue exercises again that I got from the speech therapist. And again, you can see more about that in my other videos. So I actually just finished doing those stretches because I wanted to do them first and then come onto this video and tell you how that went. I honestly was not looking forward to it. I thought that it was going to be super painful. Actually, the pain level wasn't too bad. I think it's just more that it's like uncomfortable and it feels tighter. It feels tighter. So I did do those exercises, and this is when I kind of simultaneously talk about the exercises and also my opinion on the results so far on day 5. The mobility is a lot worse than it was before. I mean, maybe not a lot worse, but it's noticeably worse. It feels really tight where I had the tongue tie release. The flexibility is worse. Things that I was able to do before, in terms of the exercises, they're now more difficult for me, and I can't move my tongue as far as I used to be able to. On the one hand, you know, I just had the surgery 5 days ago, so a lot of it is probably to do with the fact that it's still uncomfortable and healing and so on. And today's the first day of the exercises, so maybe in 2 days it'll be a lot better. From what I've seen from other people's adult tongue tie release experiences, I know everyone is different, of course, but from everything that I've seen, the improvement seems to be a lot more obvious and pretty much immediate, but that has not been the case for me at all. Additionally, when I was doing my exercises today and I realised that actually, you know, it's not as painful as I thought, which is great, I then tried, you know, pointing the tongue up to the palate of my mouth and seeing what difference there might be there. Again, it seems a little bit worse than it was before, but then also I still get this little heart shape on the tip of my tongue, which is one of the telltale signs of a tongue tie. And the floor of my jaw, the fascia layer there, it still lifts up a lot with the tongue. But I thought that's what they were supposed to get rid of, you know? So not just the frenulum, not just the little piece in the middle, but I thought they were also supposed to cut sort of deeper or wider as well. And when I had this consultation with the surgeon, I did tell her, like, it looks like there's a lot of attachment. My guess is that, you know, you'll have to cut quite a lot. And she agreed, and she seemed to be quite comfortable with how to handle that. But now it's like, I feel like she just literally just cut off like this kind of, reminds me of like a bracket or like a webbing or something like that. I feel like that was the only part that was cut. But then the other parts that are holding onto the tongue, they seem untouched, and so to me that makes sense then as to why the mobility isn't improved, because it's still attached there. I don't know, to me it seems like it wasn't really that successful, and I am feeling quite disappointed, to be honest. And then that also makes sense to me as to why I haven't felt this like instant release or relief that other people report. Not that I was expecting it, but I was hoping that like maybe I would experience it too. And now that I can see it, I'm like, I don't know. So I am feeling more than underwhelmed, actually. I am feeling relatively disappointed. However, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I don't want to, you know, resign myself to like, oh, it definitely hasn't worked. But my first impression is that it wasn't enough. So obviously I will continue with these exercises. I think I have my next speech therapy appointment, the first one since the procedure, on Friday, and then the following Tuesday, I believe, I will go back to get my stitches removed. I think that will be day 14. I'll get my stitches removed, and I'll obviously talk to them about it then as well. So not the update I wanted to give you, to be honest, but You know I'm all about the realism on this channel. So I hope that's useful for you. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, comment, subscribe. If you have any opinions or experiences to share on what I've talked about, please share them in the comments down below so I can understand how expected or not this is, and how indicative it is of the success of the procedure itself. I will post other videos not only about the tongue tie release journey but also the bigger picture of the jaw surgery and other things like that. So do subscribe if you want to see more about that. But that's all for now. Thank you very much for watching and I'll see you later. Bye!